Yes, indeed, y'all. Yes, indeed. Welcome to UDR Productions. Please like, subscribe, and share. It doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe, so we can keep bringing you guys all this good content from prayer to streets. UDR Productions. Let's go and let's get it.
Once again, folks, you know what? We're going to have a good time today. Like I said, man, this is part 2, being politically correct. Once again, you listen to your boy MVP, most valuable poet. The proud Diana, radical black Puerto Rican man of God from the Bronx when life started. We're just going to have a great time out here. And once again, I want to give a shout out to Murphy's Law for opening up the platform for us to just showing us love, to have this opportunity to just bring voices and to speak on what we know, what we believe. It's not about us convincing each other, it's about just connecting to the audience. So before we go into the next segment of conversation, guys, if you want some fine wine, Murphy's lost the spot. Pasta pasta, Murphy lost the spot. Seafood, Murphy's lost the spot. So with that being said, I want to first of all introduce two comers that's here. I want them to introduce themselves first and foremost before we get into tonight's conversation. So, my man Jeerzy, introduce yourself.
You know, Jeerzy, back again, as usual. You know, doing what we do. Whatever you want to talk about, let's talk about it.
That's right.
Comment. I mean, we'll get back to you.
And then the man of the hour in the middle. What's your name, brother?
My government name is Hank. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
People on the streets may or may not know me as the #1 draft, NO1 draft. That's everywhere. My email, my DJ, everything.
Oh, that's straight.
It is what it is.
Damn, that's dope, man. No doubt. Shout out for that.
Yes,
so
sir.
listen, let's get into just a conversation. Like I said, man, who knows what we're gonna speak about? But I know I mentioned something earlier before we got back on. But me personally, I want to talk about the state of music, of course, where it's at today. Because like I said, man, I'm an old school head. Now, I'm just a 70s baby. There might be guys older than me. But I'm just going to start off with this statement, and then we can really break up bread as far as having that conversation. For me, where I grew up with hip-hop was a culture, it was a movement, and had a purpose. Whether you agree or disagree, there was a purpose to why the music was being displayed, has been expressed, and it's about really conveying the message of what the point is. What I'm seeing today, and like I said, I'm not here trying to offend no one, but I'm just speaking from the heart when I say this. What I see today's music, to me, is garbage. It's embarrassing. It's just distasteful for me to listen to these no-talented, goofy MCs rapping about A-E-I-O-U sometimes why and making Dr. Seuss look like a genius. To me, that's embarrassing. So I just want to make that introduction statement and then kind of build off from your perspective, from what you guys think, what you guys see, and then let's just take it from there. So that's my opening introduction. That's my statement there. Gentlemen, what do you guys think about it? Do you guys agree, disagree? Give us your perspective.
First of all, I want to thank you for giving me this platform.
Yes, sir. No problem.
To speak intelligently about something I feel very passionate about, have been for quite some time, since the age of 6.
Wow, nice.
I really and truly don't want to get to running my mouth because I will take over everything. I'm really passionate about music, brother.
Listen, speak your mind, bro.
I want to thank Dirty Jeerzy over here for inviting me, right?
No doubt, Jeerzy.
He's been trying to get me up here on the podcast for quite some time, and it never dawned on me that, you know, I could get off work at a decent hour and get here. So I appreciate you guys.
No, for sure, absolutely.
Let's talk about music.
Let's talk about music.
All right. Like you, I'm a child of the 70s. You can tell by all the grays up in here. And I'm a product of real music in the form of content. Okay?
Yeah.
So whether you were an R&B singer, whether you were a group, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Kool and the Gang, you name it, whoever was out back in the days, you know, it was about the brotherhood. It was about the music.
Yep.
It was about the talent. It was about playing instruments, you know, being the best you could possibly be. You come home every day, you practice on your craft. If you were a lyric writer, because you were a singer, you were an MC, whatever it was, that's what you did. There was no PlayStation, there was no social media.
Absolutely, I remember that.
So now, with that said, how you doing, Marv? Over there, I see you, brother. That's another DJ who should be up here.
What's going on, Marv?
All right, because he understands what's going on in the state of the world with music.
And we're just talking about it right now.
I'm sorry? He's a DJ too. Listen.
Hey, dog, you know we ain't gonna forget you. You know that ain't gonna happen. Hey, listen, shout out to Marv, shout out to Underdog. I gotta make sure I gotta give him a shout out. Yes, sir.
Well, all right, like I said, I don't stop me, all right, because I'm hearing these beats in the background. I feel like battling this dude, whether he an MC, whether he nice or not. I don't care. I would take him out with all his hair, son. Anyway.
I already took yours out.
Okay.
I already took yours out.
Look. Yes, sir. I came from a time when, you gotta understand, my name, Hank, right? Number one, it's the strangest thing for a black man, right? I used to listen to a station called 92 WKTU.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Remember with Paco and all them cats like that?
Yes,
all right,
of course.
See, so I'm going back, man. I mean, I'm showing my age, but I don't care. I'm forever young.
We're taking it down memory lane all over again. I'm cool
forever
with that.
young. As long as I stay, you know, a certain kind of way and I can run, you got to catch me to beat me, baby.
I was in diapers. I was in diapers and all that was going on.
So peep game.
Yes, sir.
When hip hop was introduced, it was the Sugar Hill Gang for me, right? The first record ever, novelty record. Now understand this, I'm listening to 92 WKTU, and not only did I hear something that was totally different from everything else in the world, I heard them say my name.
Wow, that's
as a young black boy who's never seen more than maybe like a handful of people that looked like myself in a classroom, let alone had my name. I heard my name on the radio. Best believe I was tuned into that radio every evening to see how many times I could hear that record, and then I memorized everything as a 6-year-old. Now I had to tell you that story, the backstory, to tell you, like, you know, as we fast forward, you know, MCs, they grew, Ultramagnetic, you know, a whole bunch of different people that I'm not even gonna go into. Rakim reigned supreme in my day, in my era. So to me, he was the guy that taught everybody. He's my everything. You understand what I'm saying? With that, I became an MC. Watch how this happened though. I became an MC because I used to battle people. You know, I used to cap on everybody on the bus, whatever it was, and I wasn't the man.
There's never a moment that you guys don't have that time to battle rap just to do it, just to enjoy it.
Well, the idea back then was it was about making fun of people. You know, you got the best of me today, I'm gonna get you tomorrow. You know, that type deal.
I remember that.
And then as you began to write your little lyrics and then put them together in song format or whatever the case is, and you started getting the crowds of people coming in, it became entertainment to other people. And it came to a point where if you're from the projects, you know, like most people are, you couldn't walk outside without somebody saying, yo, Hank, I know you got something new. You know what you got.
They're looking for it.
You know what I mean? They're
looking for that lyrical fire to really drop jewels about whatever it is that you're gonna rap at that particular point in time. I think the most significant aspect of this, as far as like the whole hip hop, the rap and so forth, is like there was a mutual respect, meaning like to your point of if we battle and you said something that was tougher than mine, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get you next time.
You gotta go home and write.
I'm gonna hit the lap. I'm gonna hit the lap and say, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna come back even better and stronger than ever. Not to disrespect, but to bring out the best. Because that's how the seeds grow. You know what I mean? Now again, I'm from the 70s, baby. So are you. You was born like in the mid 80s. So what have you seen from your perspective of your era, from like what rap is to you? What have you seen then? What do you see now? Like, give us your perspective from the era that you came out from your end.
For me, I mean, I kind of obviously didn't grow up in y'all era, but my older brother did.
But you couldn't survive in my area, son.
You couldn't survive the 70s.
What?
You couldn't survive the 70s, kid.
You couldn't survive the 80s, man. You
consider yourself blessed to sit next to me right now, son. Come out your face wrong. See what happens. See what happens.
We about to get. We about to get started. Nah. But from your perspective, sir.
For me though, it's more so like I agree with y'all, where y'all coming from, with y'all generation and whatnot. I can relate to that more so closer to this generation. I really can't relate to mumble rap because everything that was being said back in the the late 70s, the 80s, even in the early to mid 90s, people were actually rapping about their story. They were telling their story. Right. I mean, they was telling you exactly what they experienced. Now, as time has progressed into after the late 90s, early 2000s, it kind of just became like boring because everyone's singing about drugs and guns and women. It's like,
they never even did that. That's the funny part. They ain't even did that.
But back in the day, people were actually singing about, family reunions and getting together and celebrating, like embracing each other and showing love to each other. So the message that's being conveyed out nowadays is nothing. I mean, to the extent though, some of the music that is coming out is, happy music, so to say. They do want people to go out and enjoy themselves and have fun, but it's just not the same, camaraderie, so to say, because now it's like you go out and you hear a song, it's like your crew versus my crew, on some like we getting guns and knives type shit, as opposed to us sitting here turning up having fun with each other.
Right.
You making it for a violent negative thing.
So if I can attempt, all right, forgive me, because I've learned a lot in my old age trying to calm it down or whatever the case and not be so damn violent up front, things of that nature. Be coming across as the angry rapper from the 90s, right? This is the age and the wisdom speaking now. If I can, first and foremost, what I do, it doesn't matter what era it is, I give respect to everybody who's out there doing it. Why? Because they pursued their dream and they made it happen to the point where they're out, they're on wax, they're on CD, they're on whatever the hell it is, they're out there, they're on that platform. Now it's what do they do with that platform? Now, if we're talking about from a skill standpoint, which is what I believe I heard coming from you,
that's what I'm thinking.
Right? It goes back to what I was saying about the days before social media, the days before the video games. It's you had nothing else to do but to work on your craft. So you had to find the most craftiest ways to flip the English language in a way that nobody has ever heard or seen before in your life. So that's where the skilled rappers come from. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, because we got people out here slaying like J. Cole, you know what I mean, and other people like that. True lyricists, you know what I mean. In my vision, you know, like Nas is one of them people that could never be surpassed. And you got to look back and say Nas was a direct product from Rakim, because Rakim had him up in the studios. You understand? So people seen things firsthand, and they were able to go through the behind-the-scenes business portion of it, as well as go back and work on their craft like a lyricist, like I would. The difference is they had the people behind them, they had the people that believed in them, invested the money, put them onto the right people, did whatever they needed to do to get them out there so that they can bless the world.
You know what I think what's happened too, I mean, this is from what I've seen, from what I've done. I mean, I know you're very heavily interested, I know you have more in-depth knowledge of it, but this is what I've seen from what I observed from a distance as a hip-hop fan that studied the music industry. What's happening today is there's been a disconnect as far as the OGs that's been in the game mentoring these younger rappers as far as how does the industry is being facilitated, how is the money being distributed, what to look out for, what kind of content as far as lyrical you trying to bring to the table. Like, to me, there's a gap there as far as not having that mentorship to like lead these young men to really uplift and just bring that hip-hop culture to that level where it needs to be, especially now.
My guy, again, I must always start by apologizing, because I feel like I know a lot, only because I lived it.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm not here trying to, you know, take away anybody's shine or anything, but I can just offer my perspective.
Sure.
My perspective is what's going on with today's rappers or anything like that is really a vision of upbringing. Okay, so whatever's lacking in the home, whether it be structure and stuff like that, you're going to see that reflected in the rap. All right, or I'm sorry, in today's artists, right? If today is all about the bling, it's all about the, you know, foolish dance or whatever the case is. We had our foolish dances back in the day too, but it was fun then. You know what I mean? And every generation can look back 10 years, 20 years and then say, hey, my generation was fun. So for me, wisdom tells me it's not my place to say. That's why I give everybody respect, because they're out there, they're doing it, they're pursuing their dreams.
You're giving them a chance to see what they can bring to the table themselves.
Right. So then it's just about, okay, when you're out there and you're living that now, how do you challenge yourself? How do you say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do with my platform to push the next generation of innovative lyricists? You know what I mean? And if you never came from a standpoint of being a lyricist, if you're just an entertainer or you just did it for popularity, you just did it, hey, yo, let me show you my latest costume or whatever the hell it is that I'm vibing with, my jewelry or whatever the case is, you can't really knock that person because that's what they know. So you just kind of leave that where it is.
But you can't really also contribute that to actual hip-hop then. That's, you can say that's more so fashion.
My guy?
Because, I mean, I look at it more so as, like I said, from as you said, a skill perspective. So, and a lot of people this nowadays, they're not looking for longevity in the whole game. They're looking for just a quick little moment of fame.
But you just hit that, all right? And you gotta also look at the art. All right, there's something that I learned a long time ago, right? You gotta know your audience, right? And in even knowing your audience as the artist, you gotta know what your crew is capable of. You gotta know your limitations, right? So with that said, you don't know who's being pumped by whatever record labels to be doing whatever it is that they're doing. Record labels will put you out there because they just want to report a loss, a profit loss. They know that you're trash. But the world doesn't know that. They'll put you out there at that one-hit wonder and then pump the hell out of that, and then you'll never see the album. So there's a whole lot of things that I learned from behind the scenes when I used to go to school. I went to school, by the way, at the Institute of Audio Research in New York City.
Oh, okay, no doubt.
All right, a long time ago. And then I also got a full scholarship for radio and TV broadcasting from CSB.
Okay.
So back in the days, this is something I really don't like to talk about, because when you meet people, they think you're lying because they don't really know you. A lot of people put forth their representative, right? When I was doing this thing and doing this thing heavy, coming from that 6-year-old who was influenced by hip-hop and then being that battle MC in middle school to honing my skills in high school to the point where, hey, I got 3-4 different record deals on the line, but I'm too young to sign, you know, because I don't have power of attorney, and my mom, being of West Indian descent, didn't know any better, didn't sign. I had to pay a lawyer $1,800. Marguerite Laurent, at the time, she was the lawyer for Public Enemy, right? Had to pay her $800 just to tell me that the contract I was looking at was trash. I'm not even going to put out there the people that was managing me at the time, but I was all over the place doing shows as a teenage MC who was representative of a group, a really dynamic group that could have probably changed the times, but at the time, because we didn't have our things together, as teenage boys, never signed the contracts. We was like, a friend of mine told me we was the greatest group to never ever come out. So what do you do with that now? Is that a compliment? Is that, so yeah. I only put that out there to say this, right? I've seen both sides. I've been the artist, I've been the guy on the stage, I've been the DJ only because I like the music so much. I've been the producer dude in the studio, in the home studio with the Akai SO1 sampler to the friggin' ASR 10 to what I got now is the machine. You know what I mean? I'm still that guy because I love the music. I can sit there, get my samples, get my loops.
It's a hunger. You still got the hunger no matter what season, no matter what year.
I'm that guy right now that I swear to God, if I could find a 14-year-old me, I'll produce the hell out of him and he'll sell records.
So let me ask you this question.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me ask you this question. What would you, let's say in that perspective that you were just talking,
yeah,
what would you advise a 14, 15, 16-year-old young kid, male or female, that has that kind of God-given ability to like really be, you know, an artist? And yeah, what would you tell them as far as how to go about things, for like, you know, what to look for, what to be aware of?
I'm gonna be as real as I possibly
Absolutely.
can.
No, do that.
You gotta understand that when you're in that age group, your mind is not really right now. Yeah. You understand? So you gotta understand what's appealing to that person. For me, it was about the battle. It was about winning. It was about being able to walk the streets knowing nobody was better than me. Now, granted, there were people that were better than me. When I ran into them, it was few and far between, but you can guarantee you, when they chewed me up in a battle, I went home and I wrote all night long, the next day and the day after, and I couldn't wait to see them by accident on a corner somewhere, and I'd kill them. Lyrically, because we'd all say, hey, yo, it's just like when you used to fight when you was little, y'all beat each other up because somebody couldn't ride nobody's bike, but then about an hour later, the ice cream truck cut him and everything is good. You understand what I'm saying? So
there was always that one commonality there that you know something to go for.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, if I found that 14-year-old me or whoever it was right now, the first thing I'm gonna tell them is make sure you're right with that's the fact that what you want to do, that's your passion, and then put your all into it. I mean, when I say put your all into it, live your life. Be 14. Go out, date, do what you need to do, but if your music is your thing, put your all into that, and it will bless you.
I believe
the right people will come along.
I believe that never give your best, but give it your all. And the reason why I say that you have to separate the two, because you got to make sure that you got to love every aspect of that craft or whatever it is, whether it's music or any profession in itself. You got to put in the work as far as just the effort and just the whole body of work in itself. And I see my boy Dawes giving us the signal. Dang, we're just getting started. But
hey, we're gonna come back. Hey, if you don't have me.
Listen,
yes, he's been trying to get me for a minute, and I want to thank you once again.
Shout out to Jeerzy.
You know, definitely showing love.
My way of showing love is like getting on him. You know what I mean? Trying to bring out the worst in him.
I think Jeerzy trying to tell you something.
Look, if he got on a jacket, I'm be like, yo, I could wear that jacket better than you. What? It don't even matter. I will battle him on watching a roach cross across the table. I'm trying to tell you, that's me though.
Yeah.
And if you are that 14-year-old or whatever age you are that's out there, and you got that hunger in you, that tenacity to just get it to somebody. It doesn't matter if you get beat, because that's how you get better. My point is, that's how you do your thing in DJing, write your lyrics, performing, whatever it is. Yeah. Get out there, don't be afraid, because trust me, you're doing something that somebody else wishes that they could have been doing, and they're looking at you with envy, saying, hey, you know what? I admire that person for getting out there. You got guts, you got whatever it is. Don't let nothing get you down. And when you get to that final point where you can be blessed, accept the fact that you might get taken advantage of up front. Know that it's not about the money, because if your music is right, your stuff is gonna come. I'm out of here because I think that they're running out of battery time, man.
Yeah, so listen, folks, on that quick note, listen, we can keep going at it all day long.
We're gonna come back to
We're gonna come back again to Tuesday. But on that note, once again, folks, UDR, subscribe to UDR Productions Go Love Team. God bless you guys.
Yes,
Support your boy MVP. We're gonna go ahead again.
Yes, indeed, y'all. Yes, indeed. Welcome to UDR Productions. Please like, subscribe, and share. It doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe, so we can keep bringing you guys all this good content from prayer to streets. UDR Productions. Let's go and let's get it.